Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This channel is about mommy stuff, pregnancy, maternal living. If you are looking for advice, this is where you need to be. And yes, I have a pen because I wrote notes so I don't forget anything. So today I'll be talking about the things they don't tell you after birth. I'm pregnant right now with my second child, but I really struggled with aftercare and after my first child. It's a first time mom. It was really hard. Nobody tells you some things. I'm gonna touch on 6 things today and some things that I'm planning to do with my second child that I believe will help versus my first child. The first thing I want to tell moms, new moms, or existing moms y'all probably know, but breastfeeding hurts. Your breast is engorged and it's just like swelling, and some babies that just don't latch, properly. And if you're like me, you have those tiny little nipples, not fun. That's something that, you know, they make it seem like breastfeeding is so easy, and it's not. When your nipples and your breast is hurting, it's not something you want when you have a little newborn latching onto your nipples, sucking. It's very painful. Another thing that I was never told about was contractions after you give birth. Like, what? Why? You know? The first time I felt it, I was like, what is that pain? Probably period pain, but it wasn't. It's probably worse than period pain. Like you're giving birth all over again. The third thing I want to talk about is the bleeding. Now, a lot of moms, like every mom is different. Some moms, they bleed for like 3 months. Other moms, 2 months, maybe a month, you know. But it all depends on you and your body. Me, I think I bled for like 2 months. And then I saw like a little spotting. But I know people like they bleed for a month. And then they go like 6 months without seeing their cycle after that. My cycle was right on track, right back. As soon as my like postpartum bleeding ended, my body took those 25 days to be like, hey, you're ovulating, right back. So that's something that they don't tell you. They just like prepare yourself, because everybody's different, everybody is different. And that's something that this generation, they portray this whole snap back, everybody's, you know, you could do it thing, but it's what your body wants you to do. Another thing regarding those bleeding and contractions is womb shrinkage. Your belly going back to normal, aka your belly going back to normal. I really want to touch on this one because I see it on Instagram all the time when there's moms are like, 2 days postpartum, a week postpartum, no stomach, flat. And then you have these other moms who are being so realistic with their journey, and they're just like, oh, 3 months postpartum. And people are so nasty in the comments, like, girl, why do you still look pregnant? Or like these moms will post like 2 weeks postpartum. They were like, you look 3 months pregnant still. The womb takes 9 months to stretch to that way. Like, you are just like, if your stomach just goes right back, and I'm grateful that I was one of those people. Like, my stomach just went right, like the next day I didn't look like I gave birth. That's just me, that's my body. But other women, they really like, their body took time to shrink that back. Even though my stomach didn't look bloated or like I was still pregnant, I still felt those contractions. I still felt the pain of my womb trying to shrink back to size. And one of the things that people don't talk about is the fact that your organs shift, okay? Your organs shift out of place to make a baby come into this world. So if you need some time, 9 months, 2 years, for your body to go back to what it was. And let's be real, not everybody's body's gonna go back to what it was. There's so many things about pregnancy that nobody talks about. Your breast is never gonna be the same. Toots to the women who breasts are the same, okay? I mean, why is motherhood a competition? I just don't get it. Okay, you don't have any stretch marks, you never had cellulite, you never threw up. Okay, that's fine. That's you, that's your journey. I want to speak out to those moms and those new moms that they don't know. Like, nobody's telling them, hey, postpartum depression is a thing, breast ache is a thing, stretch mark is a thing, cellulite is a thing, you know, your hair falling out after birth, that's a thing. Some women, like myself, every pregnancy I cut my hair off. Unfortunately, I get overheated a lot and I do not like the long hair on me. I tried putting it up, but I don't like it. My first daughter, well, my daughter, my hair grew so much and I was just so over it. Like, I was living in Florida. It was very hot. It was the summertime. I just cut it off. I couldn't do it. And with my son, right now my hair is pretty short and I still kind of like trim a little bit just because pregnancy do grow your hair. But one thing that I want to talk about is postpartum care. Some women, their hair fall out, and I know I have in-laws and I have my sister, after they had their children, their hair fell out. One of the things that they don't tell you, for some people, pregnancy promotes luscious growing hair. But for other people, their hair stays the same. But another thing they don't tell you is once you end that pregnancy, once you give birth, all that growing hair is out the window. Ain't no more hair growing that fast, okay? You're gonna be struggling. One thing that I would suggest for new moms with postpartum is taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. If you don't understand what's going on with your body, ask your doctor, ask your provider, do your research regardless, ask those family members. I do have a ick about some myth, like, oh, if you're breastfeeding and you feel pain in your womb, that's your womb shrinking. The breastfeeding causes your womb to shrink. No, it don't. That's a myth. You're feeling those contractions because your womb is trying to go back, not because you're breastfeeding. Because with my first child, I tried to breastfeed. She was not a good latcher, and initially I was very sad over that. I was very depressed. I struggled because I felt like I wasn't producing enough milk for her. She wasn't latching. When she did latch, it really hurt. My nipple was blistered. It was not fun. So eventually I switched to sole pumping, and I still felt like I wasn't producing enough. Pumping still hurt. And during my first pregnancy, I found out that I had benign lump in my breast. So at first, my doctor, she was just like, oh, it's a clogged milk duct. And we tried, the warm compress and all of that, but did not help whatsoever. So that's something that a lot of moms, they need to be aware about. This whole trend on the internet about how to produce 1,200 milliliters of milk a day. Those people are most likely overproducers. Not hating on those moms whatsoever, because I actually would suggest that those moms actually donate some of those breast milk to hospitals for moms who struggle or can't produce milk. That's something to think about rather than throwing it away afterwards. or whatever they do with it. But for those moms who are expecting, don't automatically assume that your body is going to just produce a mass amount of milk. You know, your body's going to take some time to get used to that. You know, like, you're pregnant, hey, yeah, I gave birth, but now you have to tell your body, hey, produce milk, the child is here, need to feed. Okay, get into that rhythm. That's something that I wanted to talk about. And another thing that I want to discuss is the postpartum depression, the mental part of it. A lot of people, they're well prepared for the late nights, the changing diapers, the crying babies, but they're not prepared for that emotional drainage that they feel. Some moms, like, they lose sense of who they are. It's mentally, it's just like draining. They feel so emotionally alone, and this is where that good support system comes in. Let's take it one step at a time. So your partner, get your partner involved as much as possible. Just let them be aware of what you're feeling, even if you don't even know what you're feeling. Because I'm pregnant right now, and like, sometimes I feel so irritated, I'm anxious, I'm gonna cry. I don't know, like, it's just a bunch of mixed feelings. And I'll just tell my husband, like, I'm so emotional right now. I don't know what kind of emotion I'm feeling. I just need a hug, or I just need to be alone. Because I try my best not to, like, lash out. If, you know, like, just randomly have a flare. I do have my little moments where I'm just like crying. And if my family knows me, I do not shed tears. Those are not just something that comes out my body. With my daughter, I never did that, but with this second pregnancy, I'm very emotional. I cry for nothing, literally nothing. I'll cry that there's nothing to cry about. I'll cry like, why am I crying? And this, it happens during pregnancy, but I also want moms to know, like, this could happen after. And this is where I talk about, like, postpartum depression. Like, you need a good support system. And if you don't have a husband, or, you know, a baby father, the person, you know, is just not a part of that journey with you, a good community is also great. Moms, dads, grandparents, sisters, aunties, uncles, a best friend, you know, just any type of support system that's going to help you get through, like, hey, you are doing great. Whatever you're feeling, it's okay. It's normal. You can get through it. You know, you just need some support system that's just going to understand that this journey is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. And that's what we don't talk about. Another thing that I want to touch is mom groups. This is something I wish I had done with my first pregnancy. I don't know, I just felt weird back then. But mom groups are very good. Like, yeah, you get to see the different tactics of parenthood. Like, they have this thing about gentle parenting now. I don't do that, yeah, but I'm kind of like in between. You got gentle parenting, you got traditional parenting, and then you got those parents who just, I don't know where they get their parenting from, but them kids, they listen. I'm that parent. My child listens. That's it is what it is. Mom groups are great. They teach you, like, what works for your child, what doesn't work for your child. You're more open to opinions, you know, especially like new moms. Like with Nyla, my first daughter, like my first girl, she was my first girl. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about my girls, my stepdaughter and my little one, so it's kind of hard to separate them now. But with my daughter Nyla, when she was a newborn, she would cry every now and then. She wasn't really a crier, you know. I can't even complain, because the first 3 months I was like, I had to wake her up to eat or change her diaper. She wasn't a crier. I had to check on her. I had to set my alarm clock, you know, to actually feed her. I had to wake her up to feed her. So she wasn't a crier. The only time she would cry was when she had like stomachache, and I had to learn like to use stuff like gripe water. I had to figure out if she was a colic baby or not, you know. And these are stuff that mom groups can help you with, like, hey, have you tried this with your baby? This could be good, you know, stuff like that. Just make yourself open. You never know. Like, I know some parents, you know, like, I don't need anybody's opinion, or but a community really helps with that postpartum. And I'm gonna be very honest with this. After I gave birth, I was not one of those exercise moms. I was not. I wasn't trying to get out of my house. And one of the reasons why that was is my body reacted horribly to my first pregnancy. I'm very confident with this pregnancy now. And this is why I say, like, everybody's pregnancy is different. Every pregnancy is different, even if it's the same person. Because with my daughter, I was like 50 shades darker. And I'm not gonna post a picture on the screen. I looked terrible. I was 50 shades darker. I had hives all over my face and my neck and my chest. I just didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to go anywhere. And it wasn't fun. My nose, like, I do have that preggy nose right now, but my nose was like 5 weeks, like out here, you know, like beehive stung me or something. That's also something that I had to learn to deal with after I gave birth, because I thought, like, it's the pregnancy. After I gave birth, my skin's gonna go back to normal. I had to form a skincare routine after birth. So a lot of moms, like, you know, you listen, power to all those women who looks completely normal and that pregnancy glow is happening for them. I'm happy because I'm finally experiencing that pregnancy glow. You know, my second pregnancy, my baby boy is doing something for me. But with my first pregnancy, baby, I had to whip out that skincare. To be honest, I never had a skincare routine before my pregnancy, my first pregnancy, and I never had one during my pregnancy, unfortunately. So it was it was hard for me to figure out what I needed to find something that would help with the pimples, the dry skin, the darkness. I couldn't wear makeup after I gave birth because my face and my neck would be completely dark from like my shoulders. Like, this whole area was so dark. So I couldn't necessarily wear my makeup because when I did, I looked like a corpse. It just didn't match. So I had to come up with a skincare routine. First, I had to get rid of the pimples. I had to get rid of the acne, and then I had to work on the dark spots that remained after the acne, and then I had to work on getting my skin back to the color that it was. It was very hard for me because I didn't like those skin lightening products. It's not for me, you know, personally, but other people, they don't have a problem with it. So it took a lot. The best thing to do during your postpartum, I'm going to tell you, it's probably one of the best things that could help you enjoy your baby. That's all I could tell you. Those little months are gonna fly by so quickly. It's just gonna break your heart when you start seeing them walking and saying, "Mama," you're happy, but you're sad at the same time because you're like, "Oh, my little baby," you know. Welcome to motherhood. I wanted to touch base on things that helped me in my second pregnancy. So my second pregnancy, I actually bought a few supplies. Like, I got an electric pump this time versus the regular Lancino pump that I had with my first pregnancy. I feel like if I could just like walk around pumping, I'll be more productive with it. It looks workable and doable. I'm gonna give it a go. Another thing that I did buy for this second pregnancy, I didn't have my first pregnancy, was that breastfeeding pillow. I feel like that support is going to like make the experience a little bit more enjoyable. I did not enjoy breastfeeding the first time around, like I stated. I feel like your arms get tired. Baby's me, like I said. But Maybe it's me, but my arms get tired. Another thing that I am investing in this pregnancy that I did in my first pregnancy is a rocking chair. With my first pregnancy, I thought it was too old school. But honey, my back was hurting. My back was killing me. So I had to switch it up. I decided that, you know, I need to get a rocking chair for this second pregnancy so I can enjoy this little minuscule experience that might seem long, but it's going to be very short with my baby. One of the other things that I'm going to do this pregnancy is I'm going to get a lactation consultant. Yes. I didn't do that with my first pregnancy. I didn't even know that was a thing. So new moms, take notes, that is a thing. And depending on your insurance, like myself, I have TRICARE, they give you up to 6 free sessions. Okay? Take them. I will be looking up for one because my first child, she did not latch. So I'm hoping with my boy, it's a better experience. He's a better latcher and I'll have somebody to guide me. I struggled. I was in a hospital with the nurse and it was just the most painful thing. And she told me like, oh, she latched. It's great, but she didn't. She didn't. And my nipples suffered. And I went home and I called them again because my nipple was bleeding at this point. It hurt. Lactation consultant, will be getting one for sure. The other thing that I did get this pregnancy that I didn't get my first pregnancy was a baby mom organizer. So I am going to use it as a hospital bag. They come with like little zip bags. I'm gonna tag it. All the stuff that I did get this second pregnancy. They come in those little labeled zip locker bags, kind of, and they have like baby diapers or onesies or muslins or mommy bag, and it says like nightgowns. You know, they separate stuff for both you and the baby. So it's a great bag to have. I will be taking it as a diaper bag after I leave the hospital because you can switch it from a mommy bag to a diaper bag simply because it has mommy treasures, baby treasures separated in the bag itself. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty cute, and I would suggest getting one. It was very easy to pack. I'm 27 weeks, rushing it because I'm so ready to give birth, but I'm 27 weeks and I already packed my bag. I'm ready to give birth, y'all. Another thing that I did get, I had it my first pregnancy, but it wasn't as up to date. Like it wasn't as modern as the one I have now, is a Sitz bath. I would recommend a Sitz bath because honey, that cooch don't hurt. It's gonna burn. After you push that human out, get it. Okay, I have the one that sprays the water upward, which I tried it. I had to try it, and it miracle worker because a lot of moms, some moms, you know, get stitches, some miracles don't. Some moms get hemorrhoids, some don't. Get a Sitz bath regardless if you get stitches or you don't, whether you have hemorrhoids or you don't. It's great for your healing process. That's what I would recommend. And these are all the things that I'm going to try for this pregnancy. Fingers crossed. My main concern is breastfeeding. Just breastfeeding. Literally. Like, it is so downplayed, like the struggle. And then this era talk about, oh, cover your breast, do this, do that, la 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 la. Do you know the struggle a mom has to go through to even produce an ounce? But anyways, another thing that I am going to do with my breastfeeding to try and promote more milk in this time, I will be taking supplements to promote breastfeeding. I will be taking my eating lactation cookies. I heard they don't really help much, but I'm gonna try it. And yeah, and I already drink a lot of water with this pregnancy. I realized with this pregnancy, I drink in water like I'm a freaking fish. I am going to be taking my supplements probably a week or two in advance for my due date, so it'll promote my body to start producing milk. Hopefully that works. I don't know, but I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah, and those are the things I have for us today. I'm pretty new to this, so let me know if there's anything I missed that you'd like me to touch on. I will be going through this pregnancy journey with you guys. And thank you for tuning into my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think. Bye.